If you are still following, I promise you, you will not struggle when it comes to this part of life where we need knowledge to thrive. Welcome to part 4 of Preserving Family Wealth. I am Tony Mugisha from Aton Capital. We said for family wealth preservation to happen, 3 things have to be understood. That is to say, human capital, that is the people in the family. Intellectual capital, that is the amount of information each family member has and how they share it among themselves. Lastly is financial capital, which is assets or properties owned by the family. If you hit a critical stop when I ask if you know how to grow human capital, you are more than welcome to rewatch part 3. Otherwise, continue with this episode to get an idea on how to grow intellectual capital within a family. Growing intellectual capital within a family includes meeting annually to know how each family member is progressing. Sometimes it is also to know how they are stagnating, so all of you can chip in. Meet to affirm family values. Meet new family members either by birth or marriage. Meet so that the young generation can get to interact. Remember, as this is happening through stories, young people in the family get to know and are prepared for the future governance in the family wealth preservation system. Family also meets to share updated CVs. Yes, many times we need to bring along updated CVs. It is important to note that lack of knowledge on a family member will lead to loss of intellectual capital. For example, how many of us know what our nieces or our nephews are studying, what they have qualified for, or are passionate about? The biggest stumbling block to intellectual capital growth within families is the vertical nature with which our families are organized. That's to say, our families are ranked by age and not by each member's abilities or what they are qualified for. If you can, I challenge you to have a family tree as a cultural norm, but also when it comes to family wealth preservation, have an intellectual capital tree, because failure to take accurate intellectual capital inventory leads to failure in preserving that family's wealth, regardless of how much financial capital is at your disposal. So, in pursuit of growing intellectual capital within the family, remember that secrets are killers of this exercise and eventually lead to a loss of family wealth, and you will have nothing to preserve. Anyway, moving on, the third arm in family wealth preservation is financial capital. This is the easiest part after you have gone through the human capital and intellectual capital growth. Come on with me on the 5th and last part and we close this. That is growing financial capital. See you on the other side.